Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try like a new segment, a new like weekly segment that I want to test out and just see if I enjoy doing it this way rather than just like sporadically coming on here. This segment, I want to call it Wednesday Watchlist. I want to call this segment Wednesday Watchlist, where I just come on here and discuss and talk about what I've enjoyed watching and what I am currently watching. So that is what I want to do with this segment. I want to do like a newer segment where I just, again, like just come on here and talk about like what I'm watching, what I enjoy watching, and just like movies and shows that I've been into and that I think you guys should watch as well. So in today's video, we're going to discuss a couple TV shows, and I think 2 movies are on the docket for today. We're going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. I have not talked about this show in a hot minute. And I'll elaborate on that more in a bit. And we're also going to talk about Dune Prophecy. And we're also going to talk about the 2nd season of Squid Game and also the Fallout TV show. And then we're going to wrap things up with the Conclave movie and the Wicked movie and my thoughts on pretty much all of these shows and movies. So let's go ahead and dive right on into Real Housewives of Potomac. So I haven't talked about Real Housewives of Potomac in a hot second. And the reason why is because, I'm sorry, but the show has just put me on a snooze fest. Like, I have not really been interested in like I've watched the show, like I've been fully caught up. I just haven't been discussing it because I'm like, and I mean this with no harm, but like, what's there to discuss? Like, the show to me it's just felt like all the like conflicts and drama have just been artificial. Like, it feels like the show has run out of steam. Like, it feels like we're at a point where it's like nobody hates each other, nobody's like all the way best friends. We're at this middle point where it's like they all just kind of get along. Like, nobody is really like going at each other. Nobody's really like fighting each other like we've gotten in past seasons, and nobody's like super besties. So it just feels like the show has just kind of like hit this fork in the road where it's like they don't know where to go. And so that's why I haven't been talking about it. It's because I'm like I'm still watching it, I'm still invested in it, but it just feels like the show has just run out of things to talk about. And so we're just starting to like throw things up in the air. They're just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. And so that's why I haven't been talking about it. But to quickly catch everyone up, or to quickly talk about the recent events, there's the whole Karen versus Jacqueline thing. Karen had like a little get together with all the ladies and all their significant others. Jacqueline wasn't invited because Jacqueline has been talking about Karen and her alleged DUI behind Karen's back, and saying things like Karen said that she like wanted to go to like a Alcohol Anonymous or like a AA club or meeting or something, or she like said she wanted to go to rehab, but Karen said that she never said that. And so it just became like a whole thing. And so again, Karen threw like a little get together for all the ladies with all their significant others, and Jacqueline was not invited, but Jacqueline ended up showing up anyways. And she brought, I think, like 8 balloons for like the 8 alleged DUI charges, or charges pending against Karen that are alleged right now. And so that just like sent Karen off the wrong way. Like, that just completely upset Karen, and she was just like, why would you do that? And I get that, because again, you weren't invited in the first place. And why is Jacqueline even here this much? Like, I feel like Jacqueline has been in almost every episode of this new season. And I'm just like, isn't she just a friend of the show? Like, why is she on here so much? Like, it feels like she's not a housewife, but she is a housewife. Like, I'm like, we don't know anything about her, but yet she's on every episode of the show. And I'm just like, this is weird. Like, is she here or is she not? Is she a housewife or is she just a friend? Like, what is she? But, sorry, I went on a tangent. Back on the Karen versus Jacqueline stuff. Again, Jacqueline wasn't invited. She ended up coming. Karen, like, that set her off on the wrong way. So now the girls are on their Panama trip, and Jacqueline has again just been, she's pretty much giving us nothing. Like, she's pretty much just been a mouthpiece for Mia. And I'm just like, why are you here? Oh. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm like, why is this woman here so much? Like, literally all she does is she just pretty much says, well, Mia is feeling like this. Mia thinks this. Mia thinks that. Like, Mia likes this. Mia doesn't like that. And it's just like, Mia, Mia, Mia. Why are you talking for Mia so much? Like, Mia has her own mouth. She can speak up for herself. She needs to speak up for herself. So again, I just feel like Jacqueline is literally just doing nothing but being a mouthpiece for Mia. And I'm just like, why are you here? Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm like, why is Jacqueline here? Like, is she a friend? Is she a housewife? Is she the spokesperson for Mia? Is she Mia's head honcho PR person? Like, why is she here? But there's been this like rift between her and Karen because, again, Jacqueline has been saying hurtful, mean things about Karen behind Karen's back, about her DUIs and stuff like that. And I'm just like, again, Jacqueline, why is Jacqueline here? Like, I'm sorry, but why is this woman here? And like, at one point when the ladies are having dinner, I think Karen said that she was like pending charges against Jacqueline for trespassing on her property, and also the fact that apparently like balloons, it's illegal to release balloons in the atmosphere because of climate change. And I'm like, that is so unserious. Like, that is the most unserious thing I have ever heard in my life out of this show. There's no need to bring up climate change and releasing balloons into the atmosphere. Like, save that for something else. Like, please, like, save that for a tweet or something like that. There's no reason why you should be using that as a reason to bring charges against this woman. Just say you don't like her, you didn't like that she showed up uninvited, and you don't want her around you or your family. Just say that and leave it at that. And then there's the whole Giselle and Mia rift where like Giselle and Mia have been bringing up each other's kids, and it's just like, the group has like, this has become apparently a talking point for the group now, where it's just like, now everybody is talking about how Mia is like mothering and raising her kids. And I'm like, why are we going here? Like, again, this is another reason why I haven't been talking about this show, because I feel like when people on a reality TV show start bringing up how they're parenting or how they're raising their kids, or start bringing up their kids at all, other than to say, oh, you know, congratulations, or, you know, I'm happy for you, or tell them I said congratulations, or like in a positive way, where it's just like the kids are being used to like make fun of or point out how somebody is flawed. I'm just like, why is this even a thing? Like, there is no reason why anybody's kid should be being brought up on the show, other than it should be in a positive manner. For them to be talking about me in the manner they are, and for Giselle and Mia to be going back and forth about like who's bringing up whose kids, I'm like, this, like, again, this is another reason why I haven't been talking about the show, because I'm like, this is low-hanging fruit. And so this episode in particular, episode 13, Mia, like, Gordon takes her kids because the girls are on a Panama trip. Mia doesn't know where her kids are. Like, Gordon takes the kids from Jacqueline's, I think, sister's house, and he drops them off in another state, doesn't call Mia, doesn't tell Mia, just drops them off and then goes on his own vacation. And she confides in Jacqueline, and then Jacqueline, of course, running her mouth, goes and runs to Ashley, and Ashley gets all worked up over this. And I'm like, I get it if you're worried, genuinely concerned about the safety of Mia's kids, but it doesn't come across like that. When I was watching Ashley talk about how she would handle this situation, or any of the ladies, I'm just like, y'all don't actually care about this woman's kids or like the safety of her kids. Y'all just want to have a bone to pick with her, and this is the easiest route to do it, is, wow, Mia, look at how you're mothering. And I'm just like, this is such low-hanging fruit. And again, that's why I haven't been talking about the show. I've been watching it, but I'm just like, there's nothing really to discuss here, because it's like, they're just going after Mia for like dumb things. And that's another theme that I've picked up on, and that I agree with Jacqueline. She mentioned in the latest episode how it has just felt like a get Mia moment. Like, every single episode, it's just been like, let's get Mia. Like, I don't like Mia, let's go after Mia. And I have to agree with her. Like, this whole season has just been, it's just felt like a let's get Mia season. Like, I don't like the way Mia looks. I don't like the way she talks. I don't like the way she acts. So we're all going to go after Mia. And I'm just like, this is low-hanging fruit. Like, I still enjoy the show, but if I knew that this season was going to, like, get this dry and this dull, I would have just said, just cancel it. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, I think that the show can be interesting, and I think it's had very interesting and very, like, relevant pop culture moments in the past. But I'm like, this show, it's just dull right now. And I'm just like, and so that's why I haven't been discussing it. It's because I'm just like, it's just kind of dull right now. Like, I'll still watch the show. I don't know if I'm going to talk about the next episode, but like, I'm still going to watch the show. It's just, again, it's felt kind of dull. And I'm sorry, but it just has. And I don't know what else to say about that. Okay, the next show that I want to talk about is Dune Prophecy. So for those of you that don't know, there is a Dune TV show right now on Max. It takes place 10,000 years before the events of Dune 1, and it kind of delves into like the history of the different houses, the like history of the Atreides and the Bene Gesserit, the Sisterhood, and like how all that 10,000 years ago, again before the events of Dune 1, like how these events really shaped what happens in Dune Part 1 and Part 2, and how much of a impact this has all had. And I think that this show, I really enjoy this show. I have been looking for a good sci-fi show because I love sci-fi, and Black Mirror has just petered out. Like, we haven't really gotten a good season of Black Mirror in years. Altered Carbon ended, and there just hasn't really been like a good sci-fi show that I've like been enjoying. Like, so this show has really just scratched that sci-fi itch, again, because it's Dune. So if you like Dune, or if you're interested in Dune, I recommend checking out this show. You don't need to watch this show before you watch Dune 1 or Dune Part 1 or Dune Part 2. You can delve right into those and then come back to this, because that's how they got released. Now, chronologically, yes, this does take place before those two movies, but I would just watch the two movies first and then come back to the show. But either way, I think the show was really interesting. I have some thoughts on a couple of the characters. First of all, with Valia, I think Valia is way too ambitious and way too like set in her own ways, where it's like she just wants what she wants no matter what it costs. Like we see this throughout the season where it's like she doesn't care what it costs, who it can unintentionally harm or intentionally harm. She wants what she wants and she will get what she wants no matter what length she has to go through. So I think that her character is really ambitious and like really just driven and passionate, and just her will is just unbreakable, as the character says in the show. So I think that she's a very interesting and dynamic character, especially when, like, if you watch the show, like, the whole, like, history, like, with the different houses and, like, how the houses rose to power and, like, why certain houses are looked down upon and why certain houses are looked up upon. Like, I think that's a very interesting concept, and I really like how the show delves into that concept and into that idea. So I enjoy that part. And another good thing I really like about the show is the outfits. I think the outfits in this show and the movies have just been absolutely phenomenal. I love the outfits. I love the setting. Again, anything sci-fi, I'm going to be sad for. Like anything good sci-fi, I will sit down and watch. The next thing, and this is going to be a bit of a spoiler, is the fact that Desmond, for those of you who have seen the show, and again, spoiler warning, so if you don't want to hear this, go ahead and click ahead. But the fact that Desmond is apparently Talia and I forget which Atreides, but she's one of the Atreides' son, and that she apparently like abandoned him and sent him away. I did not see that coming. I was absolutely blown away by that. I was like, wait a minute, that's whose kid he is? Like, it kind of makes sense now because he is so powerful and he has just this unparalleled hate for the sisterhood. And I'm like, why does he hate them so much? Like, what did they do? Like, is it just he wants their power or he wants their place and like influence and stuff like that? No, it's because, you know, his mom is a part of this, you know, what some people would consider a cult, and how she treated him and how she pretty much abandoned him. And so now it all kind of makes sense. Like, it's all come full circle, and I did not see that coming. And so that just really blew my mind. I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. So I really like that aspect. That's a twist I did not see coming. But if you're interested in Dune, or you liked Dune Part 1 or Part 2, go ahead and definitely check out this show. It's a good show. Again, if you like Dune Part 1 and Part 2, you'll like this show. Or if you're looking for, again, if you're like me and you were just looking for a good sci-fi show, you'll definitely enjoy this show. The next thing that I want to talk about is the second season of Squid Game. So Squid Game Season 2 just came out. I've already binged the whole season. I'm already through it. And I don't know why, but apparently the internet is like hating on this season. I don't know what's up with that, because I thought this season was good. Like, I thought this season was perfectly fine, especially for a Netflix show. Yeah, this is a good show. Like, I think it is a little bit overrated. Like, I think a lot of people are just like some people like overhype this show, or it is kind of overrated, but obviously people enjoy it. I think it is now actually their #1 show of all time. I think it is like their highest debut for a show, or their highest debut ever. I might be mistaken on that part, but it is one of their like most watched shows. So again, apparently people online have just been like dogging on the show and saying that they don't like it and saying that it's bad compared to the first season. I don't know where that's coming from, because I think that this is actually a really good like second season for a show. Like, for Squid Game to be like the type of show that it is, like, it's very hard to like actually make a second season justifiable, and I think they've actually done a good job at like justifying having a second and a third season. Like, the main character hasn't gone back. He wants to end the game. She's trying to get his revenge. She's trying to figure out who's behind all this, who's the leader of it, and bring it to a halt. I think that's a good like plot line. I think that's a good like path to take this story on. So I don't know where all this hate is coming from, because I'm just like, I enjoyed this show. Like, I guess maybe it's because there's a trans character in it. Maybe people are hating on the show simply because of that. I don't know what it is, but I thought the show was good. I really liked this season. I think like the character that I enjoyed watching the most this season is the Thanos character. I enjoyed the actor, how they portrayed this character. I enjoyed all of that. I think my favorite character in terms of like storyline and everything is the lady who works at the amusement park. I think her backstory is interesting, and I am looking forward to seeing what comes of her in season 3, especially knowing that knowing all what we know about her from this season, like how she's, I'm not going to spoil too much, but slight spoiler warning, how she's trying to find her daughter, and how she is vicariously like trying to protect the father of this little girl that she sees in the amusement park who has an illness. Like, I think that that is such like a very like touching like little memento that they added into the show. So I think she was my favorite character to watch this second season. But overall, I think the season was good. Again, I don't know why people are hating on it. I haven't seen any of the hate, but apparently people are hating on the season, saying that it's not good, that it's bad. I don't know where that rhetoric is coming from. I don't know what backing they're getting for this, but I didn't think this season was bad. I enjoyed it. And I think if you enjoyed the first season, you'll definitely enjoy the second season. The next show that I want to talk about is the Fallout TV show. So again, another show that I binged. I know I'm a little bit late to this Fallout show, but initially I was like, I'm not going to watch it. But I was bored one day and I was like, I might as well just check out like the first episode. Like, that can't hurt that much, right? Like, I'm going to try it and see if I like it. If I don't, I won't watch it anymore, but I did. And then I ended up, again, binging the whole thing. I think for a video game adaptation, this show does a very good job at adapting its source material and respecting it, but also like not really dumbing it down, but making it so that like the general audience can easily like pick up on like the backstory, or like pick up like on the general themes and elements of the video games, like nuclear fallout. Like, the themes are very like, the showrunners and the directors and the creators behind the show did a very good job at like just elaborating that and like conveying it to the general audience very easily. Like, you don't have to play the games, you don't have to know anything about Fallout to delve in and dive into this show and fully be able to pick up on what's happening here. I think for video game adaptations, this show is really good. And again, if you enjoy things like dystopian shows or like sci-fi shows or like post-apocalyptic shows, definitely check this show out. I think it's definitely worth a watch. And I think we're getting a season 2. I don't know if it'll be on the same characters or not, but if we are getting a season 2, I would love to see where the characters from season 1, how their story continues. I think that would be pretty interesting to see. So I hope they do continue their stories, and I think they will because of the ending of season 1. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think because of the ending of the first season, we will be seeing these characters again. Yeah, I think if you're looking for a good sci-fi show, definitely check out Fallout. Okay, the last two things, and I'm going to wrap it up. First of all, the Conclave movie. Conclave, when I saw the trailer in theaters, when I saw the trailer the first time, I was like, I'm not going to watch that. Like, this looks like nothing more than like a religious, like dramified religious story. And then once I saw the trailer again and I like looked up like what it was really about, I was like, ooh, okay, this seems interesting. I didn't go see it in the theaters because it is a bit of a longer, it's a bit of a slow burn, and I didn't want to go see it in the theaters, and by the time I convinced myself to actually watch it, it was out of the theaters, so I just ended up watching it on Peacock. And I have to say, I didn't expect to like this movie as much as I did. I did not think that this movie would be this good, especially, again, I'm not spoiling anything, but especially the ending of this movie. I really like the message that this movie is sending out. I really like the themes. I like I love the actors. Stanley Tucci's great in this. I love the acting. I love the performances. I love the themes. I love the messaging. I think for a religious like thriller, this is top tier. Like, it doesn't get any better than this because it takes real life elements and integrates them into the story, and it integrates them very well. Now, there are of course going to be some people, due to the ending of the movie, there are going to be people who are going to give this movie some backlash. We've already seen that. I believe like Megan Kelsey or somebody by the name of Kelsey, I don't know who she is, but she was saying that it was absolutely outrageous and like the show was a disgrace to like Catholics. And I'm like, you're missing the whole, like, you're literally missing the whole point of the movie. Like, if you see this movie and the only thing you get out of it is like it's blasphemy and it's outrageous and it's a disgrace, you're missing the point. This movie makes a very clear and concise point about like religion as a whole, and like why some people like choose to join religion, why some people choose to leave religion, and like why religion in modern times is in such a crossroads. And so I think for her to just come out and say that, I'm like, did you even watch the movie? Like, the movie is not saying that religion is bad. By no means is this a movie. If you think this movie is saying that religion is bad, it's not. Like, this is not the type of movie where it's like, oh, religion bad. It's not that. The message of this movie is, when you're like a figurehead or like a very prestigious or high up figure in like a religious organization, what challenges and what trials and tribulations that can bring, and how in the modern era your outlook on that can completely change the direction your religion goes in. Like, if you have a very like stoic view of where your religion should go, like how that can impact like the followers and believers and like your allies in the religion. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but basically, if you think that this movie is going to say that religion is bad. It's not. Like, that's not the main message of this movie. It's trying to simply convey how challenging it can be to be religious and be a part of a religion in modern times is. That's really what I got from this movie. I think it's a really good movie, and I don't know why, again, that woman would just come out and be like, it's a disgrace and all that, and I don't know why people are acting like this movie is trying to beat up on religion. I'm like, that's not the theme. Like, that's not the message. Like, did you even watch the movie? But again, I think if you're looking for like a good thriller movie, definitely check out Conclave. Again, it's on Peacock. Okay, and then last but not least, Wicked. I finally saw Wicked. I really enjoyed Wicked. I thought everybody was really good in Wicked. I like the dance scenes. I like the, oh my god, the singing is so good. Like Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, oh my god, so talented. Like, it's insane how talented they are. And I really like the dynamic of these two characters. I love how they play off of each other. I love how their voices sound. Like, I love everything about this movie. And so I think that this is a really good movie. If you don't like musicals, I think you should still check it out. I think it's a very interesting movie. I think it's a very like fun, airy, like playful movie, but it's also got, again, some serious like tones and serious themes in there as well. Like what looking different from everybody else, like what that can do to you as a person and what challenges that brings. If you enjoyed Barbie, I think you'll really enjoy Wicked. And I think if you enjoy musicals, if you enjoyed a show like Glee, if you enjoy things like that, you'll really enjoy Wicked. Or if you just like plays as a whole, you'll really enjoy Wicked. Again, I think everybody is super talented in this. I really enjoyed Cynthia Erivo. I think her performance is hands down the best performance in the movie. Like, no shade to Ariana Grande, I love her too, but I think Cynthia Erivo's performance in this movie is hands down top tier. Like, I like her performance. I'm a little bit critical of her as a person just because of the things she says and how she has reacted to things in the past, but there's no denying that the woman can absolutely sing her head off. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. I just wanna thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Bye!